And to celebrate 30 years of Show Me St. Louis, each week we are taking a trip down memory lane. Today's Throwback Thursday, we are headed back to July 4th, 2000, when Debbie Turner had the honor of interviewing American Legion Post 404, a group of veterans who had served in World War II, but they might not be who you expect. Take a look.
We pause to remember the men and women who served our country and in many cases gave their lives in war. In more instances than you might guess, those veterans were women. American Legion Post 404 is an all-female post who served in World War II, the Korean and Vietnam Wars. Post 404 was formed because the men weren't too keen on having them in their posts. But that's not what's important now, they say. To remember is what's important.
I remember D-Day, and the girls were all in the barracks, and we heard this announcement, and you never saw so many tears shed.
I remember the day of Pearl Harbor in '41 when it was announced. I had wanted to be a nurse a long time ago, and this really made me want to be one even more so.
They could tell stories for days, the women that served our country in the armed forces. The fact is, when Johnny came marching home again, in many cases, Johnny was Jane.
I think that we as women can work with just anything. I think we did a wonderful job of it, and I'm proud of the service.
These are the women of American Legion Post 404, an all-female post who served during active war times. They were nurses, shopkeepers, and aircraft machinists. For them, no job was too large or too small.
I was a recreation specialist. It was my job to plan parties and dances and all that kind of thing, support the morale of the troops. A tough job. Somebody had to do it, though.
Commander of Post 404, Doris Latta, is a bit modest about her service. She barely remembers why she received these medals, but how she feels about them is unforgettable.
Proud, I guess. Just real proud. Brings back lots of memories.
Army nurse Selma Millman remembers giving a transfusion to a Nazi SS trooper.
I looked up at the fourth quart of blood, and I noticed it was a Jewish donor's name on the bottle. And I looked down at him and I said in my best Yiddish, "You are part Jew now. That's Jewish blood that you're having."
Indelible stories of these brave soldiers in bobby socks, our women of war and valor.
I think we need to keep that in the forefront of all people, that we are veterans and we served. Whatever we did, even though it was a desk job or anything like that, I think that they should be remembered for having given to their country.
Absolutely, I agree. What incredible women. Post 404 is always looking for other women who have served in the armed forces. So if you or someone you know has served during war times and would like to join Post 404, then call Doris at 721-5200. And thank you, ladies, and our hats are off to you for sure.
What a story. You can catch the full Throwback episode immediately following today's Show Me St. Louis at 10:30 on the 5 Plus app, available on Roku, Fire TV, Apple TV, and Samsung.